Hey everybody, are you thinking about joining the Army? Are you looking at different MOSs and not sure which one to pick? Well, today I'm going to share with you the 5 ways on how not to pick an MOS if you're joining the Army. So make sure to tune in. Thanks for tuning in to the Tattooed Chap. I'm Drew, the Tattooed Chap, and today I'm going to share with you the 5 ways not to pick an MOS in the Army. Now, many of you are probably graduating high school right about now, and you're looking at future things. Maybe you've always wanted to join the military. Maybe life circumstances are kind of aiming you towards joining the military. And I want to save you the heartache from picking an MOS that you will not enjoy. So we're going to be talking about those 5 ways not to pick an MOS. So make sure to tune in and maybe learn from mistakes that I've seen a lot of people make. But before we do, I want you to follow me on Instagram and also follow me on LinkedIn so we can follow each other professionally. So I've been serving in the Army for about 13 years now, and I served as an enlisted soldier first, and I actually had 2 different MOSs, and then I later transitioned into being a chaplain. What I really want to do is help you navigate your decisions. And I've seen a lot of people make the decision on which MOS to pick, which is the job that you do in the Army, based off of some, what I would say are not necessarily the wisest ways to go about choosing it. Actually, some of these actually came to mind because they're the things that I did when I first joined the Army. So here's my story of how I joined the Army and found my first MOS. So I was in a relationship with someone who I was about to get married to, and she broke it off suddenly, unexpectedly. And my whole world was crashed after that. I'd switched positions for my job, and I took a pay cut in that position change. I'd already moved out of my house and had most of my possessions in storage, and I was kind of floundering. I didn't know what to do after that situation. And a recruiter called me, and he's like, "Hey, have you ever thought about joining the Army?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've always thought about that." And he told me to come on down to the office, and I went down, and he's like, "So what are you thinking about doing in the Army?" And I said, I don't know, like, why don't you give me a job that gets me a bonus, gets me out of town fast, and gives me a skill that I could use when I get out of the Army. And so I ended up getting a job called Utilities Equipment Repairman, which basically fixes HVAC systems, heating and air conditioning. It's a great job, and I was good at it, but it's not a job that was for me. It's not something that I found enjoyable, and I really didn't like going to work doing that thing. And if I would have done some research, if I would have looked a little bit more, there's a lot of jobs out there in the Army that I would have loved to do, but I got myself stuck in that MOS. And I want you to avoid that mistake. And so that's why I am making this video. Number 1 is don't pick an MOS based on the bonus the military is offering you. The reason why I say that is some MOSs will have like really awesome, great bonuses, but they're not necessarily jobs that you're gonna enjoy. If you're gonna be doing this job for the next 3 to 6 years, is it worth the bonus if it's something that you don't want to do? Is that $10,000 or that $20,000 that you get worth doing something for 6 years that you don't want to do? What I would recommend is that it'd be better to get less money, not get the bonus, and actually have a job that you enjoy and have fun with doing. Number 2 is don't pick an MOS because so-and-so, a family member or a friend, had the same MOS and you think they're cool. I've come across people that joined the military and they pick an MOS because it's what their grandpa did in World War II or in Korea or Vietnam. And while that may be admirable, you're not that person. You're not your grandpa, you're not your dad or your mom or your grandma. And maybe that job isn't what would suit you. You know, maybe you are a person that loves computers and loves doing that stuff, working with technology. Then maybe you shouldn't join the infantry because your uncle was an infantryman in Vietnam. You know what I'm saying? Like, pick something that you are going to enjoy doing for the next 4 to 6 years. Don't pick it based off of a family member or a friend's past military experience. Number 3, don't pick an MOS that's just gonna allow you to ship quickly to basic training. I made that mistake as well, is I asked for an MOS that would get me out of town as fast as I could because of some stuff that had gone on, and I was done being in town. And really what I was doing was just running away from a problem. And because I picked an MOS that got me out as soon as I could, I actually missed out on some really good opportunities that were probably available to me. So I recommend finding the job that you want, waiting for it, even if it has a longer ship date. Number 4, don't pick a job just because it has a cool sounding name. The military has lots of different names for their MOSs, and they all seem very, very cool. But some of them are definitely cooler than others. Some of them are not that fun, but they have really cool names. Now, names and what you consider a cool job is really subjective based on you, your personality, your skill sets. An example that I have is, and this isn't to dog anyone's MOS, like I hear parachute rigger and I'm like, oh, that sounds awesome. But then when I start to look at what a parachute rigger actually does, I would be miserable in that job. I don't want to be stuffing parachutes and sewing parachutes every single day as my job. It's just not for me. That might be for someone, but it's not for me. But the name is awesome. It's like, oh yeah, I want to do that. But when you start looking at it, it's really not something that I would find enjoyable. Don't be pulled in by a name of a job. Actually look at what the job description is and what they do. Look for videos on YouTube and look up on the internet what they do regularly, because you'll find that some names, though they seem cool, maybe actually aren't the coolest jobs for your personality type. Number 5, and I think this is a big one, is don't pick a job because a recruiter says that he thinks or she thinks it will be a good fit for you. Does the recruiter really know you? You're a person that comes into their office and they probably see 10 to 15 different applicants a week, and they really don't know your personality or anything of that nature. The only things they probably really know about you is what you look like, the few interests that you maybe told them that you're interested in, and a baseline MOS test. While those things can be helpful, that recruiter still really doesn't know you. And so don't just pick a job because they say, oh, this would be a great one for you, because maybe it's not. So those are the 5 ways not to pick an MOS. And why am I sharing this? It's because I want you to have an enjoyable military experience and not hate the job that you do. Really look at what that job does, research it online before you pick it, and know if that's something that you find enjoyable. Is it a skill set that you want? Is it something that you're willing to do for 5 years, rain and shine? Is it something that's done mostly indoors and outdoors, and are you an outdoors person? Be thinking about those questions when you pick an MOS. What are the things that you like to be challenged with? That might be helpful as well. Also, if you know anyone that's in the military, get their opinion. There's a lot of people that I know that want to do certain jobs, but then when they start to actually look into it, they realize, this job isn't really the best fit for me. And it's not easy to switch your MOS once you are in that MOS. The Army invests a lot of time and money and energy into training you to do that job. And so you don't want to be stuck in a job for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years if it's a job that doesn't really fit you and isn't for you. What we want in the military is for you to be happy in your job, because if you're happy in your job, then you're going to perform well, you're going to do a good job, you're going to want to come to work, and you're going to be an awesome member of the team. What do you want to do? Who are you? What's your personality? What things do you enjoy? What things do you hate? Ask yourself those questions and help those things refine what MOS you choose. Well, thank you for tuning in today. Hopefully these questions and these thoughts will help you navigate choosing the right MOS or job in the Army for you. If you feel like I missed something or I was off base, please let me know in the comments below. If you have some questions about MOSs and how to go about choosing the right one, or you need someone to walk through this with you, leave a comment below and I'd be glad and happy to help you. I'm not an Army recruiter, so I don't know everything, but I'll tell you what I know based off of my experience and maybe help you navigate how to become a soldier. And maybe, who knows, we'll serve together someday. That'd be cool. Well, anyways, thank you for tuning in today. Make sure to hit that like button and make sure to share this video with anyone that may be considering joining the Army. Also, make sure to subscribe. If you like this content, we're going to do more military stuff. We're also going to be talking about life and faith and everything in between of all that stuff. I really want you to succeed in life, and I want you to be successful and happy, and your family as well. So anyways, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time, and bye.